Hey guys! So I've been meaning to make this video for a little bit now, and I asked people on Twitter the other day what they wanted to see for today's video, and I got an overwhelming response of my record collection! So we're gonna do that video finally. Just a disclaimer, I have a bunch of physical CDs that are actually missing. I couldn't find one of my like folder thingies. I'm missing one that has like 48 holders in it, and I don't know where it is. So there's a bunch of like CD list cases in this box. These are the ones that I have currently and may or may not be missing. All the missing ones are in this aisle. All the ones that are in there are over here. All the ones I don't really listen to anymore are over here. And these are in absolutely no order whatsoever. Bear with me. First we have Campfire OK's When You Have Arrived, and this is this pretty pink CD. You can't really see it. You might be able to. There's an OK on there. Next we have We Are Scientists TV en Français, which was their last album, which it's not my favorite album, but it's not my least favorite album. It's somewhere in the middle. And there's a fucking alligator on the CD cover. Like, how cool is that? That's so cool. Next we have Led Zeppelin, Best of Led Zeppelin, Volume 2, Latter Days. This is the one with Kashmir and The Song Remains the Same and Achilles' Last Stand on it. But I don't know where Volume 1 is. Probably in my other CD case where everything else is. Next we have one of 3 Ravenna Woods albums. This was the last one, The Jackals, which is, I think, my favorite because it's so good. Clearly it's my favorite one of theirs because it was my favorite album that came out of Seattle last year. And because of that video that I made, I met Chris. And then because of meeting, the rest is history. Next we have We Are Scientists Brain Thrust Mastery, which is another one that's like in the middle. Not my least favorite, not my favorite. 2 or 3, one of those, but this one came out in 2008 and I love it so dearly. Next we have Pamplemousse Volume 2, which came out last month. I got to see them last month and they were lovely and adorable, and I love Natalie and Jack. And they remembered me and it was great. The fucking Lord Beck and Tupac mashup are like the best things ever. Next we have Noah Gundersen Ledges. This album is gonna be definitely near the top of my list of my favorite albums of 2014 out of Seattle. It's gonna be a really difficult list because there's so many good albums that came out of this town. Another one of the albums that was on the list last year was The Lonely Forest Adding Up the Wasted Hours, which is their last album. Just give me a second. And it's coming up on the 5-year anniversary from when I first photographed them, and I'm gonna cry. Completely changing gears, we have Matchbox 20's Yourself or Someone Like You. I used to have like 3 different Matchbox 20's albums in my cases, but for some reason I've just kept the oldest one. This was actually like one of the first albums my mom ever bought me. It's a good album. 3 AM, Push. Fucking 90s nostalgia. Next we have one of several Chris Orlowski albums, Chris Orlowski and the Passenger String Quartet. I think I bought this like the first time I met Chris. He played a show in Tacoma. The CD came with like kazoos or something. This feels like it's so long ago by now, but it was just like 3 years ago. I'm like, what the hell? Even older, we have Editors, In This Light and On This Evening, which is awesome. It's one with Papillon. I met them the only time I've ever seen them. They played at the Showbox, and it was like 4 months after I started shooting shows, so I still really had like no idea what I was doing. But they were so charming and British. I'm like, oh my god, I love this. Heading back to Seattle, we have Damien Jurado, and this is actually a 2-disc thing. Brothers and Sisters of the Eternal Sun. This goodie. And then it actually, I recently found this. It is a bonus Jonas, of a live record of Sisters that was recorded at the Fremont Abbey. So that's cool. Next we have my pal, Someone Still Loves You, Boris Yeltsin. This is Fly By Wire. I have a couple of their CDs. But this was the one that came out last year with Nightwater Girlfriend and Harrison Ford on it and Young Presidents, and it's so good. Last time I saw them was the night my car broke down in Ballard. And then the tow truck popped a tire. So that was fun. Heading back to Ravenna Woods town, which, wait, no. It'd just be heading back to Ravenna Woods because it's a neighborhood. This is the second album, EP, that came out in 2011 with Tides, Graves, We Want It All, also other creepy artwork. Staying in Seattle, we have the Head and the Heart self-titled album, which is glorious and wonderful, and it changed my life. Down in the Valley, Rivers and Rose, Lost in My Mind, sounds like Hallelujah. This album means so much to me, you guys, you don't even know. You don't even know. Next we have Tango Alpha Tango, which I forgot the name of this record, but I saw them at a house show with Chris Orlowski several years ago, and I forgot how great they were. I think they're from Portland. Next we have Telekinesis, 12 Desperate Straight Lines, and this was their album that came out in 2011. This one's really good. It has a dirty thing on it and it's adorable. And I really love Telekinesis. Any band where a drummer can like drum the hell out of everything while singing, I'm like all there. Now we have Bright Eyes, I'm Wide Awake, It's Morning. I haven't listened to this in years. Why do I still keep this in here? That's weird. I listened to Casadega so much more than this album. I still like it. It was one of the first albums I bought when I actually had good taste. High school. Back to Chris Orlowski, we have Believer, which is his album that came out this year, which is so freaking good. I will not stop talking about this. I need to put it away because it's that amazing, and I'm so proud of him. And this will definitely be on my best of 2014 Seattle bands list because reasons. We have Pickwick Myths, which was the EP that came out before Can't Talk Medicine, and this has a bunch of older songs, has a live version, like an electronic version of a song. Then we have With Love and Squalor from We Are Scientists. Here we are. Here's the Holy Grail. This is the album that started it all. So we want cats on the cover. Who doesn't love cats on the covers of CD cases? Next we have Armin J, a guy that is he from Tennessee? I think he's from Tennessee. I don't remember. He opened for Noah Gundersen this year, and I absolutely loved his set so much that I bought his record. And he was a really nice guy, and he played electric guitar live with Noah. The last Ravenna Woods, well actually the first Ravenna Woods, this one's Demons and Lakes, which I bought at Easy Street Records a few months ago for $3, because $3 and why not? I love supporting local record stores and bands. We have Sean Nelson's Make Good Choices. This one was an album that I didn't really get into until this year, but I bought it last year. And also, Sean's a great songwriter, and now I've like hung out with him and his wife a lot, which is fucking weird. He was in Harvey Danger, by the way. Flagpole Sitta, that was him. Next is Youth Culture Forever by Pause, which is going to definitely be towards the top of my list of favorite albums of 2014 because of obvious reasons. Back to We Are Scientists, we have Barbara, which is my least favorite We Are Scientists album, but it's still one of my favorite albums of all time, considering in the larger scheme of things. It's real good, I just like the other ones better. Next we have Coke Float by fucking Pause, back to Pause, and it's Tie Dye, so who doesn't love that? Now we have Let's Be Still by The Head and the Heart. I wanted it to change my life the way that the first record did, but it didn't, unfortunately. Hey Marseille, to Travels and Trunks, and it's one of my favorite albums of all time, and it's so glorious and lovely and pretty, and I just want to listen to it all the time, and it never gets old, and it will always be one of my favorites. Those boys are magic whenever they come together and make music. I can't handle it. Next we have Tommy Alto's Atlas Patterson EP, which they released several months ago, and I bought when they were on tour last month. Hung out with those adorable Canadian boys last month. Next we have Sam Miller, my other friend, Sam Miller, in the most nostalgic looking CD out of all of them. It looks like it's from the fucking early 90s, which doesn't suck. And I love this. It's such a good album, and it's another one that's going to be on my list of my favorite Seattle albums of 2014, even though he's now living in New York and was in Europe for like 5 months out of the year. He was in Seattle when he made it. It counts. Next we have Macklemore and Ryan Lewis Versus re-release, which has all of the good remixes and just shows how much of a genius that Ryan Lewis is, because he's far underrated. Sticking in Seattle, we have Cumulus, I Never Meant It to Be Like This. This one's really hard to read because it's in very, very light, dainty handwriting. It matches well with Alex's adorable, dainty voice, but like rock star songs. They're on Trans Records with Lonely Forest. So Chris Walla produced this thing, so it's gotta be good. More dainty colors. We have Natalie Dawn's How I Knew Her, which came out last year. She gave this to me, actually. Like, she just gave it to me when I saw her when she opened for Ben Folds. And she was like, oh, photographers get swag. And I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks, Natalie. We have Taco Cat's NVM, or short for Nevermind. Look at that record. Look at that candy-coated punk rock right there. Cotton candy deliciousness. I love Taco Cat. Big Echo by the Morning Vendors. An album that changed my life so much. He's one of my favorite songwriters. Like Chris Chu. Fuck. God damn it. This album. Oh, it's so good. Next, we have White Lighter by Typhoon. And I will never stop talking about this album. Again, one that changed my life so much. The lyrics, the songs, the live show, the music, everything. Kyle. Going back to 2001. Okay. The Callings. Why do I have this in here? Maybe for nostalgia's sake? Maybe? I don't know. I was into that music when I was 12. Next we have Builders and the Butchers. Western Medicine. It's so good. So gothic, folk, and dark, and wonderful. Staying in Portland, we have Prophet by Ramona Falls. I love Ramona Falls so much. Brent Knopf is a genius, and I just like everything that he does ever. Next, we have Yellow Ostrich, Cosmos. This band I saw this year when I randomly stumbled upon their music on Tumblr when I was searching for Michael Tapper, who used to play with We Are Scientists, and now he plays with Yellow Ostrich. And this album is really awesome. Next, we have an album that, if not the best album out of Seattle this year, one of the best. Shiver and Shake by My Goodness. My Goodness. Local Natives Hummingbird. Awesome record. Came out last year. I love it. And it's so pretty. Like, how pretty is that? That's beautiful. We have Chris Erlaski and Andrew Joslin with Pieces We Are. This was the EP that they released a couple of years ago, and I did a little giveaway on my channel. And it's like beautiful and melodic and folkestral and like wall of sound prettiness. Daisy from Curtains for You. Yes, okay, yeah, that's what this record is. This band has now not defunct, but they're now Mikey and Maddie, the two brothers Mikey and Maddie Gervais. But their band used to be called Curtains for You, and this was the record they put out in 2011. And it's super summery and pretty and upbeat and wonderful, and I like listening to it in the summertime. Not just because there's a fucking flower on it either. Pop Etc. by Pop Etc. It's good. It really is. It's no Big Echo. Now, last but not least, we have Lines We Trace by Hey Marseille. You can barely read their name in the corner. It's just right down there. This one's beautiful, and anything they do, I already said it, anything they do is magic. So that's the end of this. I'm just gonna skip through these real fast because I need to. The ones that I have lost. Foo Fighters One by One. We Are Scientists B-Sides album Crap Attack. That is Chris Kane's child on the front, by the way. Sam's Town. Can't find any of my Killers albums. Franz Ferdinand, You Can Have It So Much Better. Garden State soundtrack. The first Franz Ferdinand album, which is like one of the albums that just changed my world. Empire Records soundtrack. So good. Postal Service, Give Up. I haven't given up. I need to find it. Knight's Tale soundtrack, also another quality soundtrack right there. The White Stripes, Elephant, their opus. Lonely Forest, Arrows, I got them to sign it. It was beautiful. Local Natives, Gorilla Manor, also gone. Can't find it. Mines by Menomina. Lamolo's first album. This was their little EP that they wrote on the back, and it's so pretty. It's the first time I saw Lamolo. Speaking of Lamolo, the Kaleidoscope that was released 2 years ago. Broken Social Scene, You Forgotten and People, With Love or Spit, and Stars and Suns. Anthems for a 17-Year-Old Girl. God damn it, this album's good. St. Paul Levants. Their new album actually just came out like 2 weeks ago. They signed it too. The King is Dead by the Decemberists. The Animal Collective record that started it all for me. Meriwether Post Pavilion. Tomboy, Panda Bear. Also an album that came out, was this 2011? Really? It's been 3 years? Holy shit. Jim James, Regions of Light and Sound of God, and this is the guy that's in my morning jacket, and I think my sister actually has this CD. Spoon Transference, gone! And then the album that I'm probably the most sad about not being able to find right now is Hot Fuss, cause like, it's Hot Fuss. Can't handle it. So, after I've been recording for like fucking 40 minutes, I did not think this was gonna be as long of a video. Shit. For your song of the day today, we actually have Noah Gundersen's cover of Smells Like Teen Spirit. because that exists. He released it the other day as like a pre-release thing before his tour, because it's actually going to be on his like tour exclusive EP 20 something. It's going to be that song and then 4 originals, but I heard it and I wanted to cry because I'm like, what? So beautiful, so painful, so surreal and nostalgic and weird and wonderful and beautiful and perfect, and fucking Noah Gundersen is a life ruiner. Anyway, so that's your song of the day. Go check it out. Too many in here. Okay, it's gonna be a long video to edit it. Again, reminder, meetup tomorrow, Powell's, 2 p.m., Portland, in the cafe. We're gonna hang out and do things. Whatever you guys want to do, I don't know. Let me know in the comments below if you're gonna come to it, because I would love to see you there. And I will see the rest of you guys on Monday. Bye!
It's less dangerous